Okay. Uh, what's the title of my video going to be? I was thinking when I got up this morning, before I took my medications and everything, I said, how do you feel, Bill? And I says, I feel sicker than a hound dog after he ate rotten meat. Yeah, I feel sicker than a hound dog after he eats rotten meat. Blech! I feel like doing that, but I'm just not that far yet. Somebody would have asked me when I got up, 6:30. I don't know, it's 8 o'clock now. I'm feeling better. Took my medications and stuff. I got to take my modafinil because my sleep sickness and stuff. It perks me up a little bit. Modafinil does. It's not an amphetamine or anything. It's just a chemical that they use now to get you motivated. So I found it. I lost it. I haven't had a prescription for it. I haven't used it in a long time. I've been sick 750 days, somewhere. I don't know, since the 24th of November till whatever the date, 2023, until today. How many days is that? I have been sick with long COVID coughing. Just like that every day, 750 days. So, I've noticed something. Maybe you have too. My voice is getting low. So God's making me sick to lower my voice. Why? I don't know. Maybe we'll see in future videos why God lowered my voice. Am I going to tell everybody like it is? Is God going to use me to tell everybody like it is? Like he sees it? We got to change 2 laws in the United States if we want to be number 1 again. Because we're falling behind. We might have the tech. I'm not going to go into that. Because I know we have tech that nobody knows anything about. And it's top secret. So, but I know. Don't ask me how I know. It's top secret. So, if you can have top secret, I can have top secret. So, let's go from there. I feel better now. And what do I want to talk about? Pretend worlds. We all live in the world. It's a stage. It's God's stage. And we're all players on that stage, people. When we live, we become an actor in front of God. He watches everything we do. He knows the universes and everything about them. He created them. He can focus in on us. And when he sees us, he can count every hair on us. If he wants. I don't know. He can count every hair on me, but I don't gussy up, man. See, I got up. I didn't gussy up. So let me see. Here's a brush. I saw a brush over there. And I pull this like that. Pull that like that. I got long hair, man. I mean, going way back. I mean, it's halfway. It's down my back, in the middle of my back, and my hair is. I've never had hair this long in my life. You think, oh, he's some bum or something. No. God wanted me to look different for some reason. I could never grow anything like this when I was younger. And all of a sudden, I grow old and everything starts turning. See the black in me? Right there. I got a little black right here. I don't know what percent black I am. I don't know. But I'm black. See right here? Yeah, it's in my beard. Right there. It's black. And then on the outside, if the light's right, everything's red hued. Because I was born with red hair. Like my dad. My dad had red hair. And my mother was Italian, you know. Italian, Sicilian Italian. Sicily and Italy aren't the same. You know, Sicily is in the middle of the Mediterranean. Most of the people on that island, I come from North Africa. They're called Sicilians. That's what I am. I'm a Sicilian. I come from North Africa. And 900 AD to 1100 AD, the Arabs took over Sicily. They controlled everything. We're a Muslim, you get your head chopped. You know, so I guess I was a Muslim because here I am. You know, in my heritage, that is. I'm a Roman Catholic now, cradle born. I'm a cradle Catholic. I was born a Catholic, baptized in the Catholic Church. Even though they can't find my baptismal records, they call up the church. Right now, I called up the church, St. Mary's of Assumption Church in Binghamton, New York, and I asked them for my baptismal records. He said, how old are you? And I told him my age and everything. They can't find that I was baptized. I know I was baptized. I had a godfather and a godmother. My Aunt Kay and my Uncle Jack. Uncle Jack was my godfather. My Aunt Kay was my godmother. Aggie. Oh, not Kay. Aggie. Jeepers. Aunt Kay was my godmother. Or was it? It was Aggie. I can't remember who it was. Mary Bayswick is related to me, so her mother. It was Aggie. You see, it's been 50 years, and I'm losing it. That's my family. I can't remember how it goes, but now it's starting to make sense. Yes, now that I think about it, see how it wasn't a total recall immediately. I have to sit down and meditate a little bit, and then all of a sudden the memories start coming back. And when those memories fill in, other memories come with them. That's why it's not good to think about the past. Because other memories can come in with those memories that you think about the past, and they bloom again, and they might not be holy memories. Oh, that's what you got. You can't think about the past. Because those thoughts come in, and they have hitchhikers with them. There might be a good thought. That's why it's good for you not to sit around and gloat over yourself, all the good you did in life. Let God know that. You just go on continuing doing good and not pay attention to the good that you did. That's humility. It's not a bubble coming out of your nose, hanging on your mustache. I did that on one of my videos. It's called Bubble Nose. One of my videos is called Bubble Nose. And you look through it, and I'm so sick, so congested and everything, which I'm going to demonstrate how to get rid of my congestion. And I want everybody to notice how I am congested right now and how saggy everything is. I just woke up really 6:30. I got some sleep last night, so I feel better. My eyes are a little bit wider this morning. They're usually like this. Everybody says, "Are you Chinese?" Because this is the way I usually look, like this. I'm Chinese. I am. I got the Chinese gene in me, man. There's the Chinese people, they would let me represent them buying a home and all that. I found them houses. And they liked me. I got along good with them. I was moral. I didn't try to get in here and molest anybody. Even though I did wonder, why don't they marry the people that I was involved with? They don't get married like Americans do. But yet they have the rights of being married. Because he was different. He was the guy I was involved with, and his wife I bought a house for. He treated me like a king, really. He thought I was cool, So every time I went to his restaurant, it was free. I didn't have to pay for it. I could have got big and fat too. That food's good. Chinese food, oh, gee. I haven't been to a Chinese restaurant in quite a while, but yeah, I haven't been to one in quite a while. I haven't had. Well, I go to takeout. There is a Chinese fraternity house in Hillcrest that I go to on Fridays because I can get the shrimp lo mein or the shrimp this and the shrimp that. And Friday is meatless day for me. So I can go to a Chinese restaurant, order shrimp or lobster or seafood. They have a seafood dish there too. And, get some egg wonton soup or something like that. Or onion wonton soup. That's good stuff. But it's got meat in it, so you can't eat it on Friday, but you just get one and let it go overnight, and the next day when you warm it up on Saturday, right, warm up those big chunks of noodles that come with that soup. Oh, they got these rolled, I don't know what type of meat it is. Probably chicken or something like that. It's good, though. I mean, they roll up the insides of it. It tastes, I don't know, maybe it's the innards or the gizzards and stuff like that. There's some type of a taste. I hope it isn't monkey meat or kitty cats. That's what I was told when I was, don't eat Chinese food. They move in an area and all of a sudden everybody's cats are missing. Jeepers. That's what. I'm Chinese. I got Chinese in me. I got blamed for that once. I had this guy that hated me, right? For some reason, I fired him off a job because he tried to take over the job, Says, no, I had a job I made $2,800 on. and I got this mason to do the work. Right? He tried to take it over. He says, "No, I hired him for $800 to build the stairs, on this job. So $800 to build the stairs, and all you had to do is use the old brick and everything to do it because it was all brick. They wanted to tear it apart, make a new stoop out of it, and all that." He starts doing it, and then he says, right as he starts doing it, he goes, "Oh, I want the 2,000. You keep the 800." Because I told him how much I'm making, 2,800, and I hired him for 800 to build it, because I got to do a whole bunch of stuff too. I got to haul all the stuff away and everything, all the old brick. It was a great big thing we had to tear apart and put a smaller stoop in it. So I had him build a small stoop for $800. That was a good price for a mason. But he tried to uh, take over the job. He's trying to provoke me into knocking him out cold like I did his brother. Well, anyways, I shouldn't have said that, but it's the truth. In the gym, though, we were in the gym sparring in Johnson City. Jim Gallagher was there. He's a witness. He's dead now. Wayne Rounds and Bill Nixon went at it. Nobody knows that happened. And I knocked him out. I don't know if Wayne's still alive or not. Ask him. I don't know. He was on the ground, he got back up. If that's not being knocked down, out. Because I had him there. And then I eased up on him and I just sparred him. Because we were going heavy. Because Jim Gallagher was hollering out orders, okay, watch this, watch that now. Okay, now do this and do that. He's hollering out orders to his fighter, right? And I'm listening. And Wayne is in there and he's punching hard, man. I said, what the heck's going on here, He wanted to beat me, So I said, okay, well. And I slipped under his right hand, and I let him have it with my left hook right on the head, and down he went. Bam! Yeah, so that's what happened. That's the truth. If he admitted it, he admitted it. We were still friends after that. Because when he went down, he come back up, and I could have really, tore his head off if he wanted to keep going. But I eased up on him because he was my friend. But yeah, I had to show him, man. He got in there and tried to do me, and I said, okay, you're going to get it. Wham! And I woke him up. He respected me after that. Always respected me. He wasn't really, he was like a brother, try to get away with it. Okay, here. Because I went to work for him after I was a teacher. I retired. I got out of teaching 6 years with those juvenile delinquents. My co-worker got his leg chopped off by one of them. And I said, I'm out of here, I get kicked in the shins all the time, and I don't want to do this stuff anymore. So I went and got my broker's license. Well, salesman's license for real estate. And I was there 6 years. I think it was 7, 8, 9, 10 years. 16 years, 15 years, somewhere around there after my license expired. All my licenses expired after 15 years as a real estate broker. Well, I ended up a real estate broker. I was 6 years salesman, and the rest I was a broker. I worked as an associate broker too for other places. Didn't work out. Didn't work out. They were making all the money, making 29-30% of me. And I'm a broker, so I said, I'm going to go in my own business. So I built my own place. Got my broker's license, went into business. But while I was building the place, because I was a salesman for 6 years, then I built my place because I went and got my broker's license. And I built an addition on my house, 17 by 18 or something like that addition. There's upstairs and downstairs in it too. Half of it's underground, half of it's above ground, like my house. So in Zillow, I was once 1,100 square feet, and now I'm 1,300 square feet because they've noticed in pictures or something like that I've got an addition, and they know how big it is, so they just and they can only charge me for the upper half because the other half is below grade. Even the deck, my deck is to the window height. When you open up the windows, my deck's right there, and you kind of look over it, That's because it's underground, So they can't charge me as living space, so I'm only looked at as having 1,300. Well, if below grade and above grade is finished, and I don't use it as living space, but it's finished, halfway decent. It's not finished, where it's top notch or anything, but it's got paneling, drop ceilings, and all that stuff in my basement. But you can't count it as living space because it's 1.5 inches and more up below grade. See, so I have a split level home. It's a raised ranch, they call it, but it's actually a split level. Because I could, if I really wanted to, I could fix the downstairs up as living space. But it's too cold down there. It's too damp and everything. It's below grade. See, it's always a constant 60 degrees below grade. When you get down underneath the ground, it's 60 degrees. That's the problem we had in Vietnam, all these ground rats, these Vietnamese, Viet Cong, they lived down in the ground during the day, and then at night they came up, raped, killed, and everything. They went back down in their holes with children, made slaves out of them to dig the holes out. They have like a city underneath ground, really. And we had to fight them. They come out at night like ground rats, stick their head up and get out into the villages, and they start raping and murdering and pillaging, and then they beat it out of the village back into their holes in the ground. So when we go in there and try to get them, it's collateral damage because we told them people, get out of there. You got to go move someplace else. This is a military zone. We're wiping everybody out here. I never thought that might happen in the United States someday. We went in there and told the Viet Cong, the Vietnamese, get out of here. Here's a guy, he's got a cow, and he's got chickens, and he's got a garden, 8 kids, a little house shack that he built, out of grass and all that stuff. It's his home. And we're telling them, you got to get out of here, or you're going to be collateral damage because you'll, when we wipe out the VC, we're not going to wonder, well, okay, all the VC over here and all the people are Vietnamese innocent over here. We can't do that. And when we come in and wipe them out, and if you're there, you're collateral damage. That's what we had to tell the Vietnamese. So you think they picked up and moved? They got chickens in the garden and all that stuff, and a cow and all that. How are they going to take that with them? So they stay there. They take their chances and they stay there. And the VC come in and use their place as a headquarters, and they become a human shield. See, where you can't. They're all set up inside his house with all their equipment and all that stuff because our radar and everything. I mean, our equipment, we can observe. We know what's going on. Where their ammo dumps are, what they're doing. We got all the reconnaissance. Everything's involved in a war like that. So we know where all their ammo dumps are. So what's the U.S. Clarion River's job? To go up the river. We got a 7-mile range. Anything within 7 miles we can annihilate. And I'm talking about annihilate. We had 16 rockets that could leave our ship every 3 seconds. 16. 3 seconds. 3 seconds. 3 seconds. 16 rockets coming at you, man, every 3 seconds. Where are you going to run? You can't run nowhere. You got to get down in the ground, deep down. And that's what they do. That's why it was hard for us to get them. So we had to get them when they were operating. And we had reconnaissances and all that stuff. And we knew it was, okay, this village is being hit right now by them. So our ship go over there and we line up our rockets and everything. As many as we had to do to level the village. They were murdering everybody anyways. Then they go back in their hole. After they do all the murdering and raping and all that stuff, they go back in their holes and they take concubine with them. And what are they? Little children that can dig holes. Because they got to get their holes dug. Because that's where they go in the daytime at 60 degrees down here, where it's 110 above. And I'm telling you, it's a hot 110 too. Hot, muggy hot. I know I puked in it several times. Oh, I puked and puked and puked. I couldn't even go down into the air conditioning on my ship because I was puking. Because of the smell of Agent Orange and diesel fuel. Oh my God, I was allergic to it. I couldn't stomach it. What a horrid smell. Everybody else hid from it. They went down in the air conditioning where it's filtered and all that stuff. But my job was to roam the deck, checking all the fuel tanks, how much fuel we have. So I was above deck while we were going through the Agent Orange, while everybody was below the deck when we were going through the Agent Orange. I was above deck. So I got Agent Orange more than they got. We were all exposed. But I was, that's what it is. You're Vietnam. You're exposed to Agent Orange. When I came back, how would it affect me? Oh, man. My wife had a baby blob. We can't check the records because a flood came and destroyed all the records and all that stuff. But she told me, it was just a cyst on my uterus. I said, then why did they have to take and remove the uterus, too? They didn't have to touch your uterus. Why did they take it out? You had a baby in it, baby blob, and they just couldn't do anything about it. They had to remove your uterus. What do you think I am, stupid? I can't test it. Can't test it. All the records were lost. How convenient. I can't go back and test that blob she had. Make sure it wasn't a baby with my DNA in it. Cover up. She stabbed me in the back several times. Other things. So I would expect that's what happened. I was away. She got involved. She got pregnant. Wasn't my baby. That's what the devil tells me. Probably. Because I don't have any proof. I'm just thinking it. And the devil can make your thoughts be negative or positive. Now, if my thoughts were positive, I would go with what my wife said it was. And trust her. But I can't trust my wife because I caught her stabbing me in the back. I caught her. Can't trust anything from her now. 4 years. 4 years she was stabbing me in the back, looking at me in the eyes when we're going to communion and everything, going to church and all that, praying together. She's looking at me in the eyes while she was stabbing me in the back. What was she doing? She took me off the bank account. She's the primary. She took me off the bank account. 4 years I went. Didn't know I was taken off the bank account. Because I don't use the bank account. I don't use the bank account we had an account together with. Had 100 grand in it, you know. More than that. Should have had 248,000 in it. I don't know where the money went. She says she's spending on taxes and different things, you know. Get on. $250,000. The deal was we live off my money, and she saves all hers. So she saved her money on retirement now. She got a couple of grand a month coming in, and that goes in the bank. I got twice that coming in. You know, I'm disabled. Vietnam. Spinal stenosis from Agent Orange. I puked so many times over. Man, Agent Orange and diesel fuel. Every time I smell a diesel truck going by, it reminds me of Agent Orange. The association. Diesel fuel. The smell of diesel fuel and the smell of Agent Orange together. Puke all over the place. And if you go through it, it will affect your eyes and everything just like tear gas. Because I remember snot coming out of my nose, my ear, eyes running while I was top deck. Because they wouldn't let me down underneath because I was puking from the smell and everything. I was sicker than a hound dog after he eats rotten meat. Man, was I puking all over the place. Couldn't keep nothing down. Oranges, the only thing I could eat was oranges and crackers. And give it time and bleh, back it went. Over the side. Matter of fact, that was dangerous for me. I didn't realize it. You're hanging over the side of the ship. There's these big fish in the China Sea. There's these big fish that are eyeballing you. They see you. When the wave came up, there was this biggest shark I've ever seen in my life come out, and he's looking at me like this. If he's going to grab me, because I'm over the side of the ship. Bleh, bleh, I'm chumming him. Bleh, bleh. And they can sense it, man. They come right there and they're looking at you. That's a lot of guys. Sailors went missing. Nobody knows what happened to them. There's things in that ocean. 70% of our Earth is ocean, and we've only explored 5% of it. And we're going to looking for water. We're going to Mars looking for water. Well, we got all this water here on Earth we haven't explored yet. We don't know what's down there. We see these spaceships going in, and there's like a big where a rocket hits and it makes a big crater. We see these huge craters on the moon too, but up north, Antarctica and all that stuff, and craters in the ice and all that stuff, and we see spaceships go down them and come up out of them. There's videos on TV about it. You know, they're watching. They're watching us too. I got a story about what they're watching us for too. What I think's going on. Because we're missing 600,000 people a year in the world. Nobody knows where they went. That's a big dinner menu, I think. 600,000 people missing. Nobody knows where they went. That's 600,000 livers that fill up refrigerators. And then when the next year comes, you get 600,000 more livers. You process it. And you make not liverwurst, because that comes from cows, pigs, and stuff like that. And they call it liver best because it comes from human beings. Yeah. I found a wire in my head here, about the size of a hair. I can feel where it was, right there. Oh, I can hear it. I can hear it in my mind. It's still, part of the wire is still down in there. I couldn't get it all out. I pulled it, I had it in my hand, I lost it, I couldn't. It was a wire coming out of my head. Where the heck is a wire coming out of my head from? I believe this is what happens. You're harvestable when you're over 300 pounds. I wonder if all them people that were missing, how much did they weigh? That would be a good thing to find out. How much the people weighed when they went missing. Because I think if you get 300 pounds or more, you're prime liver. And they don't make liverwurst, they make liver best. And liver best comes from human beings. Monkeys. That's all we are to them. Like Kenya, they eat monkey down there. Blowguns. Oh, and then down you go. Plunk on the ground. And they come running over to you and they go, oh man, oh, good, good, good. Put on the grill, it's gonna be monkey tonight, man. Come on, put the grill on, man. It's monkey tonight. I'm gonna get monkey butt, man. Would you eat monkey butt? Would any of you out here listening to this, would you eat monkey butt? I ridiculed it. You know, I said, nah, I'd never eat monkey. You know, who can eat monkey? It's like eating a human being, you know? They got hands and they look like a human and everything. How can you eat a monkey, you know? But they eat monkey in Kenya. And the monkeys don't bother them, they run from them. But in the countries that don't eat monkey and don't eat meat, the monkeys are in control because they usually have these, a Nigerian civilization like that thinks reincarnation. You know, like there's a god and he reincarnates and this and that the monkeys are reincarnations. So they're not eaten or killed or anything, and the country is a vegetarian country. They don't eat meat. So then now there's those type of people in Africa, and then the people that eat meat. But the vegetarians stay away from the people who eat meat because they're aggressive and they don't want them around. They're agrarian. They're agricultural. They eat vegetables, fruits, and stuff. They don't eat meat. They eat fish. They don't eat meat. So up in that Kenya, here's the difference. Here's how I know about this. There's a priest that I was talking to. And he says, "Oh, you're helping out." I told him I'm helping out people in Africa. And he goes, "Oh, where are you helping out people in Africa?" I says, "Oh, Kenya." He goes, "Kenya?" He says, "What are you helping them out in Kenya for? They eat meat." And I go, "What do you mean by that?" And he goes, "Yeah, they eat meat in Kenya. Come down to our country. Help us in our country. We don't eat meat." And so I investigate them. You know what? They don't eat meat, right? But you know who's in control down there? The monkeys. Because your wife is walking home from the store with a bag of groceries and a troop of monkeys. Because they don't kill them or anything. And you don't have meat breath. So they're not afraid of you. So they come up to you and they put your wife up against the wall and they grab her groceries out of her hands and they got their hands in her privates and everything. They're feeling her all up and everything. I don't know what they don't put it on video or anything what goes on, but good God, jeepers. That happens in countries that don't eat meat. Because if you got meat breath, the monkeys will run because you eat meat. Because in Kenya, they eat meat in Kenya. Monkeys don't come boss them around up there like they do down in places where they don't eat meat. The monkeys, troops of them, man. The males. They see your wife walking home from the store with a bag of groceries. Let's go over. They all gather around her, push her. I watched this on the video. What happens? That's how I know it happens, because I watched it on a video. Being molested by monkey troop. Women carrying groceries, being molested by a monkey troop. Put that on your Google. You'll see it. You'll see what I'm talking about. But up in the countries where they eat meat, the monkeys run. They don't come around and grab your wife and grab her groceries or go in your house and look around. They smell you eat meat, they're gone. Zap, in the trees. You got to go with them after them with a blowgun. And you get him. Down he goes. Staggers. Down he goes. He's dead. You go over there and you pick him up. And you got a smile on your face. And you're saying, "Hey, man, let's put the grill on. It's monkey tonight, man. All right. Monkey tonight. Hey, would you eat monkey butt?" Think about it. My brother Jimmy, I was asking him, in a video. I say, "Hey, Jimmy, would you eat monkey butt?" I don't know. He never answered me on that one, right? But here's what happened to me. I ridiculed it. I never eat monkey. That's like eating a human being and all that stuff. That's the one thing I didn't like about Kenya, to eat monkey down there, So, where was I going with this? Oh, monkey meat. Okay. Here's what happened to me. I go to the store, and there was this meat. I'd never seen it before. What's that meat right there? Oh, that's, what do they call it? Bush meat. There was 3. I remember them having white on, because this is what happened. I remember the people who said, "Oh, that's bush meat." They had white on because they were cut meat and everything. They had to be They look good. They had hats on, hair nets, and all that stuff. That's the new meat we imported from Africa. It's called bush meat. And I says, oh, really? Oh, okay. Because bush meat could be hoofed animals. I was thinking in my head, oh, hoofed animals. Oh, really? Gazelles and all that. I don't know. Okay, give me a pound of it. Let me try it out. I take it home. I make a sandwich with it. Forgot what I put on it. I'm not going to go through all that. But I made a sandwich and I took a bite in it and my teeth went right through everything. I didn't have to pull, like you do with roast beef or something like that. If it's been sliced and it has tendon in it and stuff like that, you have to break it loose, sometimes. Well, this stuff, your teeth went right through it. And I'm eating it. I'm going, man, this meat is good. Wow, bush meat, huh? And that's why they're the way they're eating down in Africa, people. The bushmeat restaurants are big in Africa. If you go in a bushmeat restaurant, and that's what they are, they're bushmeat restaurants, like a barbecue place. Bushmeat barbecue restaurants. Because they're all hanging up after they barbecue them, all for as long as it takes to barbecue one. Probably different. They have testers, testing the meat and all that stuff. But they leave it on the hoof. When they cook it, they leave it on the hoof. And the hoof has a hook going through it. But the meat that's on the hoof is cooked. And if it isn't cooked good enough, they'll put it on their grill and cook it for a minute or two to where it's good for you. How do you want your meat? I want it rare. Or I want it medium. I want it well. They can do that for you because they have big grills and all that. They go over to that on the hoof, the big animal, whatever it is, gazelle. You can eat all kinds of bushmeat hoofed animals. And they have them. Oh, I'll take some of that zebra over there, and I'll have a slice of that gazelle. And how about some hippopotamus? Do you have any hippopotamus? They're hoofed. They have hoofed feet, or don't they? Oh, elephants. Elephant. You don't eat elephants either. Oh, some tribes eat elephants. You come from a tribe that eats elephants? No. Oh, you just don't eat monkey. Oh, no, you just don't eat meat, period. Okay. Because they have these prejudices down there. If you eat meat, stay away from them. They eat meat. Don't help them out. They eat meat up there. Come down and help us out. We don't eat meat. We're vegetarians. Help us out. Because he asked me who I'm helping out, I ain't helping out anybody, but I'm doing a lot of singing and yakking, and they're going down and helping out. They ain't telling me that. Because they're going to say, oh, I listened to that Nixon and begging for the people in Kenya for water wells because they're being eaten by crocodiles and all that stuff out of that river, that poopy, muddy river, all poop in it and everything. They drink it like milk. That's what it looks like, milk. And they get dysentery and all kinds of mud hut people, diseases of the mud hut people. That's what they call them too, mud huts people. Oh, the mud hut people? Okay, they have mud huts. They live in mud huts on the river. They have been from as long, probably back to the prehistoric ages. They've been there. They're like the crocs. The last of the crocs are in Kenya. And they're the colors. They call the herds as they're going across the river. And you get these big crocs, they're waiting for them. If you're injured or you're young, you can't get away from them because they're not real fast compared to some of those animals that go across. Those animals they don't want to be eaten. They're trying to stay away from being eaten. And oh man, and the people with money. I mean, if you think about it, you have some hotel rooms down around that area. When the herds come across and the crocs get all the meat they want, because that's what they wait for. They wait for the herds to go across from one part of the land to another, because they're migrators. A lot of their game that they eat is migration game. And I get a resident once in a while, a mud hut child or something like that, getting a bucket of water. They'll grab that. 3,000 psi coming down on your baby. He's down there getting a bucket of water for mommy. Oh, go down, get a bucket of water. Okay. And the next thing you do, you just go and Google crocs eating people on the river. How they get them. How do they get them? And it shows you Kenya. This guy has his film on there. He didn't know what was going on. He had a video camera with him. He brought his children in the area, and he was filming them playing at the riverside, And all of a sudden, this croc comes out, grabs his kid, and takes off with it, and he's filming it. It's on the internet. Shows everything, man. Croc pulls it down into the ground. That's it, man. Your jowl's gone. Just comes up out of the water. The kid wasn't even in the water. He was standing on the shore. Comes up out of the thing and grabs the kid fast, man. I've never seen a croc move that fast, but that's what they do. Yeah, well, they're vicious. Vicious. They get you, shake you, and your blood starts going down their throat. And 3,000 psi. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't getting out of that mouth. You're done. And then the other crocs smell the blood and they see the commotion they've been watching. And they come moseying all over it real quick. So grab an arm or grab a leg. And they have a tug of war with your child screaming, Mommy, Mommy, they're eating me. They're eating me. You like to say that? Think about your child in the mouth of a croc. They should be sending me some type of donation. Make it in charge of Father Kariuki, James Kariuki, and George, Kenya. Njorge. That's where I think his address. He has a charity down there. Look up his charity, Father James Kariuki. It's not Father Joseph. He says he didn't even know Father Joseph Kariuki. His name has been adulterated, really, because Father Joseph Kariuki came to the United States, was caught in a hotel room with a street corner honey and a bottle of Viagra, and he had a heart attack and died. And his name was Joseph Kariuki. It was national news. That's how I found out about it. I said, Kariuki? I'm working with a Kariuki from Kenya. This Father Joseph was from Kenya. So I said, did you know him? There's 1,600 priests in Kenya. And I asked him if he knew him. He says, no, same name. But the name Kariuki is like the name Smith in the United States. How many Smiths are there? There's a lot of Kariukis down there. They could not, and all them Smiths that you see aren't related, but their last name is Smith. So Kariuki, so I that's how I reason. But he was a priest. 60, and the same name? Something wasn't right there. I didn't feel good about that. But I'm not going to judge. So I'm not going to judge anything. He says that he's got somebody to put a water well in. Because I sent the guy down there with my videos and everything. I think Jim Donaldson went down there. And when he entered his area, he put 52 in Kenya. And then 48 throughout Africa. But he put 52 in Kenya. And it didn't do it at my priest. The only one that didn't get one was the guy that I was backing. Father James Kariuki. He's a priest down in Kenya. And I can remember the name big N, George, and it's spelled like this, Jorge, N George. Is that what they say? Is that N George? Or is that, well, I don't know how to use that, but that's down in Kenya. And that's where his charity is, Father James Kariuki. And you can donate to that. Now, when you donate to that, you put it on there mainly water wells, because they have a lot of other things that need to be addressed as other than water wells, and Jim Donaldson just put 52 of them in there. But we need more water wells in Kenya. So that's what I'm looking for. So you put it on your donations for water wells and the children to be baptized. Because when you get to the kingdom of God, and he asks you, what'd you do with all the money I allowed you to make? What'd you do with it? Oh, I put it in the bank. We lived off the interest of that, stuff like that. I said, oh, okay. So, I was going to do the same thing. And I was doing it. But to get back to the whole show is that my wife was suffering from diabetes, and it's starting to affect the way she thinks. Her flow to her brain, 95% blocked on one side, 80% blocked on the other. She wasn't thinking right. And she got paranoid, thinking she was growing old and she's going to die, and I'm going to kick her out on the street because I don't want an old bitch around me. And it's the way it is. I've been with her 6 years. I'm not going to kick her out on the street. Even though we haven't had a conjugal relationship for over 26, 27 years, something like that. Might be 28, I don't know. I can't remember the last time I had anything to do with another human being. That's my wife included. Because when I was a teenager, I had a bad time in life. I don't want to think about it, so I don't talk about it. But I did make videos about it just so others could see, the young people could see and understand what a person goes through in their lifetime, what they're exposed to. Man, I've got the hypnic jerk. I'm sitting here. I'm actually sitting here with the phone in my hand. And my arm went numb. This hand, I can't even close it. I can't even feel my baby finger or my ring finger on that hand. I can move them though. And now the blood's starting to go back in them. So I got to go open and close my hand 33 times. 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3. Yep. Full. And if I check my heart's beating faster now, too. You can sit here in the morning, people. If you can't get up and walk around, you can make your heart work by just going like this, as fast as you can. Like this. 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. And then you can catch yourself breathing hard. You're looking for some oxygen now because your blood, you exercised your blood. Your cardiovascular system is what's exercised. So you can do that with your hands. Have that. You can have a cardiovascular exercise with your hands in the morning. Like going out and running. Really. Like this hand right here. My hand is numb now. This finger here, I can move it, but it's numb. I can't feel the tip. Well, I can feel the pressure, but I can't feel with the tip of my finger. Can't feel it. Because I can't feel my nail going into the tip of my baby finger. I can't feel that. But if I go like this, watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. I'm out of breath. I just ran in front of you guys. All you people, all you old people that can't get up and walk around, you can go for a run with your hand. Because when you do that, you're exercising your cardiovascular system. It's better than nothing, people. It's better than not getting up and walking. I mean, you get up and walk and you stretch. That's meaning. But you can sit on the couch and do all this and never leave the couch and do what you need to have done for your cardiovascular system and your muscles and your joints. And we're machines, people. We have to be oiled. And it's good to take some olive oil in a 2-ounce cup. Down it. Swallow it. I do that. Or mix it in with, take about that much olive oil every day and mix it in with your salads and all that, your salad dressings. Make your salad dressings out of olive oil. Another way to do it. Put your seasonings in there and all that stuff. But you got to be oiled, people. We're machines. Machines need to be oiled. On the inside and the outside. I've got this stuff I'm going to do here in a few minutes. I don't know where it went, but I got it. It's olive oil and castor oil mixed in, and it's a cream, and you put it on your skin, put it on your hair follicles. I have stuff that's just for your hair. I was looking for it someplace right here somewhere. I'm going to show you it. But of course, I'm never prepared. But it's right here. I have to get up off the couch. I'm not going to get up off the couch right now. So, anyways, and I'm in the desert looking for a water well. And here's the water well. Oh, pure water. Oh, I burp because I got Arab in me. You can sit down. Arab comes in and he sits down at a meal. He eats. He drinks and all that. And at the end of the meal, he lets this big loud. Out. After he's done eating, everybody looks at him and says, Oh, he enjoyed his dinner, didn't he? That's the way they do it in the Arabs. The Arabs do it. They burp after they eat. That's a growl of, thank you, that was good. Arr. That's the way the Arabs do it. I'm an Arab. I'm a Muslim, heritage-wise. I'm a Catholic, Roman Catholic, but my heritage were Muslims. Arabs. They owned Sicily between 900 and 1100 AD. And if you weren't Muslim, you were beheaded. So I guess I was a Muslim because here I am. My heritage, that is. My Sicilian grandfather. Now, everybody thinks Sicilian, they're Italians, but they're not. Sicilians are from Sicily, and that's an island in the middle of the Mediterranean, not on Italy. Italy is a boot, shaped like a boot, and Sicily's shaped like a soccer ball. And that's a joke that God allowed, because the Italians are a boot and they're kicking the soccer ball. Sicily backed down to North Africa saying, get out of here, darkies. You're just too many of you. Get out of here. Oh, my goodness. Oh, so when I burp, it comes out of both ends. You burp. Imagine that being at a big feast or something like that. I don't know if this is true or not. I'm just saying I've been told that, so I got prejudiced against it. Kind of like, because I kind of like believe it really when it happens to me, because I am an Arab, you know. And after I eat, I burp and I fart and I go, that's the Arab in me. How do you like that, brother Arabs? Huh? You as tough as me? You want to go a few rounds? I'm 75 and I still can get in the ring. Is there anybody my age? Huh? You want to go a few rounds? I can still hit hard, man, real hard. Yeah, you just let me know and we'll do it on video. And I'll show everybody how a 75-year-old can still knock somebody out. I've got a video on there of me hitting a heavy bag after I had COVID. See if I still had a punch. Well, you can go look at that video I made hitting the heavy bag. See if you want to mess with me. Because I had warned the guys just recently, too. They wanted to mess with me over stupid things, but long story put short is he come at me, man. I said, I was on my property too, and he come at me. He goes, I said, well, come on, you want some, get some. But before you try to get some, you, I'll do you a favor. I'll hit the heavy bag. You can see what you're going to get, and I'll give you the chance to hightail it back in the house. Because if you mess with me, you're going to be waking up in the hospital 2 weeks later, looking at the light above your head, thinking it's the moon, because you messed with me. Because I'll hit you on the jaw and put you in la la land. La 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 land. Now, this is an act now, people. I'm an actor. I knew Sly Stallone, and well, I didn't know him. He was. I was a member of the Actors Guild back in. John Voight was making his movie, The All American Boy, and I was in that movie. I played a big part in that movie. I was in an Actors Guild. But I decided I wasn't going to go for acting. But Sly and my brother Mike were buddies, they're friends, They hung out together and laughed and joked and who knows, got drunk. I don't know if they did. I don't know what they did back then. But Sly was poor as we were, We didn't have any money and he didn't either. So we split up. Everybody split up and went their own way. Sly went and made billions of dollars, and I went and got an education. Ninth grade dropout. And got 2 4-year degrees and 1 2-year degree. I got ahead. I got my brains, and I'm 75. I see Sly. He's still hanging out. He's got a lot of money, though. He went for the money. He got what he wanted. But you know what it is? It's like, what is it to a man if you gain the whole world and you lose your soul? I went and got an education, and they tried to take my soul away from me. You wouldn't believe, you got to watch my videos to see what I went through. Because I tell my anguish, what I went through growing up, trying to be a Christian. Everybody trying to prove that you're not, including the police department. I gotta hear that story. How I was set up in Florida, Dade City area, sheriff's department. He was at. I know I was involved with an undercover agent. I didn't know he was an undercover agent. He played the guitar. I played the guitar. We were friends. I told him everything. He told me everything, about what was going on and all stuff. He knew everything was going on. He lived in a trailer behind a bar on a lake. And he played the guitar, and everybody was drawn to him. He was a good guitarist. Everybody was drawn to him. We all go over and jam, and all the women would go over there wanted to be singers. They would sing. He would play the guitar, let them sing a song and stuff. And there were some beautiful women he had coming to his trailer too. I never, I was a friend of his, and when the women came and all that stuff, I listened to him sing and all that. And they all look at me. Looking at them, I says, oh man, I'd love to have her in my folk group. I'm thinking that, Oh, I'd love to have her in my folk group. She sings beautiful. She's pretty too. Oh, that would be an addition to my folk group. But she didn't take it that way. She thought I wanted her, Okay. I wasn't going to cheat on my wife. Matter of fact, the people that she lived with were undercover agents for the police department. This one girl I'm talking about. She was a singer, and she used to come over to the guitarist. I'm not going to say anybody's name here. She used to come over to the guitarist and start singing with her and all that stuff. I saw her. First time I met her, they said, oh, there's some girls out there. They're from your hometown. And I says, oh, really? Where are they? They're out in the middle of the lake. They're swimming. I says, they're in a lake? There's cracks in the lake. There's alligators and stuff in there. Big ones, too. This lake was out. They didn't realize. They thought they were in a lake up in New York, They go out swimming in the lake, And I go out there and I get on the dock. I say, hey, you girls, there's alligators in there, great big ones. What are you doing? This isn't New York. You can't be swimming in a lake like that. So they started they didn't, and scream, They just started moseying towards the dock. Again, I'm standing on it. And I told her my name, and I said, I'm from where they were from, right? And she looks at me, and what a beautiful woman she was. Oh, It was like a scene, The Greatest Temptation. It could be the name of the movie. My Greatest Temptation. Because when that woman came up out of the lake, she had a white bikini on, and she was built gorgeous, staring me right in the face with a little tattoo. She had a little tattoo on her. She came up out of that water with that beautiful white bikini. And I looked at her and I go, my greatest temptation ever. Man, she was gorgeous. But anyways, nothing ever happened. God was there, protecting me. I wanted her to become like a sister after I got to know her, because she was friends with the guitarist, and I was friends with the guitarist. We played guitars together. I wrote my first song I ever wrote and recorded was with this friend of mine. Yesterday. It was the name of the song. Yesterday. Yesterday. I even forgot the song. I used to know that song. Yesterday, yesterday, yesterday has gone away, and today is the promise of tomorrow. That's how the verses went. Yesterday, yesterday, yesterday has gone away, and today is the promise of tomorrow. Oh, 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 oh. Yesterday is gone away, and today is the promise of tomorrow. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, you like that song? That was my first song I ever recorded. But it didn't sound exactly like that. The beat was different. It's on a tape around here someplace. One of those cassette tapes. I've got it recorded. And it's in one of my cassette boxes. I have a cassette box with tapes. I don't know if they're any good anymore. How long does the tape last? Can you take a tape from 50 years ago and play it today and it would sound the same? If you can get a tape recorder. That's something. I gotta look on the internet and see, where can I find a tape player for a cassette? Not a disc. I'm talking about, and not a flat disc cassette either. They had those cards you could stick in and put 9 pictures on and pull them back out. I have one of those cameras. It still works, too. I can still do it with it. But it's been sitting around for 50 years. Jeepers. That camera's still good after 50 because it's just been sitting in a drawer. Nothing's been used. Never been opened up. Nothing going inside of it. I don't know if it's collected moisture in its You could open up something I know that's old and it has batteries in it and they're green and white and all kinds of oxide, oxide develops, white powder. You want to. Yeah, so, anyways, I don't want to go any further than that. What I wanted to point out is like up here. I said if I can get up close. Where did it go? Well, I can't see up there. It's there. It's there. I can see it if I look up. I can't see it with this camera. I was going to show this bottle I stretched, a bottleneck I stretched that nobody could do. I went to the University of Oswego, up on the lake, and for my master's degree. And I was in ceramics, industrial arts, ceramics, and all the different machines that are used in industry. I was in that class. And they were showing us how everything operates. So I could be educated as an industrial arts teacher. I would know, and I had took exams, tests, and everything too, on each machine. So all these factory machines, basically how they work and their components and all that other stuff. I was into all that stuff. I went to a heating and air conditioning school too. Components, electrical components. They had these. You had to go and find out what was wrong. They had different stations, like 25 different stations, and when you got in that station, it told you what was wrong with what was in the furnace, and you had to find out where it was. They said that the furnace won't turn on, so they let you in this one booth, and it has, okay, now show us how you would find out why the furnace isn't turning on. And you got to go through their module and answer questions and all that stuff. That's how they did it in the school I went to. And then I had that guy, my instructor, come and